Why to tell this story? Why to make a Anunnaki movie and put here on YouTube? Even though we have to know, and this is the Lost Book of Enki in Portuguese, even though we have to know that this book is a fiction story, we have to understand that this fiction story is a summarizing of all conclusions of Zecharia Sitchin and his theory. And not just that. It brings us a concise story about the sudden civilization of Sumer and the prehistory before the modern times. And it can answer to us about the ancient civilization that comes here to Earth before humans. But it is necessary to understand that this story is a fiction and why it is a fiction. Some people say that everything that it is here in this book comes from Sumerian tablets or Mesopotamian tablets, and it's not exactly like that. If you look to the Urian mythology, you will find a figure named Kumarbi, and this figure named Kumarbi comes from Alalu. That is another entity, not from a Sumerian culture. It is from another culture that surrounds that land, that region of Earth. And Alalu, in Urian mythology, is the father of Anu, and also the father of Kumarbi. Kumarbi, in a tale called The Kingship in Heaven, has had this fight with Anu. And Zecharia Sitchin comes to his conclusions after reading the Sumerian kings list when Alulin comes to Earth and established the kingship on Earth, and reading the kingship in heaven also from the Urian mythology and other mythologies around the world. So it is like this that the Lost Book of Enki had started. It is a fiction. But why to tell this story? Because it brings us an idea of what happened in our past, as I said before. And I'm really amazed with this story, and I think we have to make this story mainstream. I think that all people in Earth would have to know this story. Because as this story progresses, we can maybe understand, or at least have a clue of what have happened in our story, in our history, in our religions, and the beginning of time, and the beginning and creation of human beings. There are some differences between the Sitchin's story told in the Lost Book of Enki and the real Sumerian tablets. And I have started this comparison work in this channel, and we are going to have a deep look into this in the future. One of the main differences that we can see is that here in the Lost Book of Enki, the junior gods, the lesser in hierarchy, the Igigi, are mining gold, so the Anunnaki can transport this gold to their planet, to planet Nibiru. This is Sitchin's theory. From the real Sumerian Mesopotamian tablets that we can read in the internet, we are going to see that they are not mining, but digging channels. In this there, yes, is the same, the junior gods or the lesser gods. And the junior or the lesser gods make a mutiny, so the Anunnaki decided to create human beings to substitute, not exactly to serve as slaves, but to substitute the work of the lesser gods, to bear the toil of the Anunnaki, of the lesser gods, not the Anunnaki, and to work to the Anunnaki. And this we can read in this book here, that is the Fascination book. And this comes from the creation story and from the Atrahasis myth. We are going to have a deep look into all these in the future, but I want to demonstrate to you how did I construct the Anunnaki movie. Some people look to this almost 7 hours length video and think that the artificial intelligence did this or did that, and don't think that a human have done. And yes, it is a human and it is me. I did all this work only by me. There is no one helping me, no one editing or doing anything. When I first started this project, it was the year 2022, and I took this book and read page by page and tablet by tablet and started to think, how could I tell this story in the best way? If you read The Lost Book of Enki at least one time or at least one page in your life, you know that it has a poem structure like an old or ancient epic, like the Epic of Gilgamesh. So sometimes it is difficult to understand the sentences and what really means each thing that is here. And other times, there are some expressions like the Burunu that you have to look into the glossary or to make a research to understand that the Burunu River is actually the Euphrates River, and so this seems like a puzzle to do it. I will go to the computer and show you. First, and I was forgetting to tell you, that artificial intelligence can't do this and the way I did. When I started this project, as I said, it was the year 2022, and it was a pre-ChatGPT era. There is no ChatGPT at all. And so you can see some marks here, and it was really me, reading and doing the work. Reading and making this script to make this story good to see and to listen. Let's go to my computer and I will show you some things. Be welcome to my workstation. Here you can see I have two screens. The second screen is in my side, and we are going to look into the first screen that is in front of me. Let's start with this. Let's start with the Anunnaki full movie script. As you can see here, it is all my script, and it has more than 100 pages. And as I said, I have written, or I wrote, all this stuff. And I have started with the attestation of Endubsar, and we have all tablets here. When I did this in Portuguese. And later, I have translated it to English. As I said in the era before ChatGPT. As you can see, and as I said before, I did this in Portuguese, and English is not my native language, so it is completely natural for a second language that we can have some mistakes and some problems with accent. As many of you know, I'm Brazilian. And when I started this, I started narrating by myself, and I will show this to you. Just look into this. Anunnaki, Episode 4, The Lost Book of Enki, the First Tablet, Part 2, The Planet Nibiru. Nibiru is a wide-orbiting planet. It's a big reddish planet. It makes an extended orbit around the Sun. Many people come here in this channel and say to me, why don't you narrate your own videos? I like your accent. Well, when I started this project, many people comes and said that they're not thinking that it was so good to hear this accent, and this microphone that I own is not so good. And then I started to use one artificial intelligent voice that I will going to show now here.
In the 95th Shah, Adapa and Taitai had a son. Taitai named him Sati, meaning one who unites.
Yeah, but we have this problem with Taitai. It's terrible. And then I finally bought this electronic voice that you can hear in the videos. And I love that electronic voice that I use in the videos. So I was translating this content and finally putting here. As many of you know, this channel has been demonetized, and maybe, just maybe, the problem could be the Anunnaki Secrets revealed video series based in Sitchin books, for one thing that I have already explained in other videos, or it could be the reuse of my own content, that it is uniting the tablet by tablet and making this movie that had passed 4 million views here in this channel, and I have already deleted it, and making the 4 movies into one big movie with almost 7 hours length. And knowing that this channel has been demonetized now, I have started a revision, actually a remake of this content. When I started it in 2022, I did not have any money to invest to make a good content and to own musics and images. And as I said before, it was an era pre-ChatGPT and pre-Midjourney or DALL-E or any artificial intelligence that could make images for us with a text to image creator. So now I have a subscription on Envato Elements. They are not paying me nothing to demonstrate, and I can select the images from here. And as you can see in my video editor, I have the line of the music, the line of the narration, and each piece of image that you can see here. The problem is that I have never took any problem with the use of images of games and gameplay images. But now that this channel has been demonetized, I think that I have to take this time to correct some things. And one of the correction is a remake of the all 7-hour movie that you are going to see very soon. And I'm working very hard on this in the last 2 weeks. So as you can see, I'm substituting almost all images, because now I have a way to create an image of Nima, as you can see here, or an image of Ninurta, or an image of Enlil, and I have something like 10 images for the main Anunnaki gods, and then I can substitute and using one time one and the other time other. And I'm using in black skin or dark skin and in white skin too, because I think that there is no difference. We have their image and likeness, and we are like them, and there is no proof at all about which color are their skin. So I have substituted the musics too, in a way to make this movie to look better, and using different songs and different video effects and sound effects that you are going to see very soon. And adopting a more futuristic way for the pre-flood era. So I think that an ancient civilization comes here and created humans and used this earth before us, and there's a lot of megalithic structures that we can see, and we can understand that they have in very advanced technology. So why don't use these beautiful images here, so you can see here the new Nibruki, and let's just watch a little bit.
The rays emanating from their construction could penetrate the heart of all lands, allowing them to observe everything. From atop the chamber, endless...
I think it's okay by now. As you can see here, this is the narrator line, this is the music line, and this is just the 5th tablet. I work tablet by tablet, and the 5th tablet has these 27 minutes, 26 minutes, and then after I work in every part, I came here and unite all parts, and let's make this entire movie available again with a remake version, a totally remake version. And for those who think that artificial intelligence has made this, no, it is entirely did by me. As you can see, I'm in love with this image of Nanar, and I am using two main images to Nanar. He is the moon god. He is the god of the city of Ur, from which Abraham came. It is a very important Anunnaki god. And then we have all these images and the text that I put in front of almost all images to make a clear description of who is this Anunnaki god. So I wish that you have liked this content. Make your subscription to this channel. I will make another video appearing here and explaining to you the future of this channel. This channel will not be deleted. I will be here producing content for you and anxiously waiting for the remonetization of this channel so I can bring you these new documentaries that I am working on it. See you in another video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for watching this video.